Imagine you're driving down the highway, going the appropriate speed, or maybe a little bit over, and you find yourself meeting the bumper of another vehicle, hindering you from going the same speed that you were, and therefore causing you to travel inefficiently. I know we've all been here before, and if you haven't, you know somebody who complains about it. We can all agree that the US highway system can be slow and inefficient at times, but how much is usually a mystery to most of us. A report from Clifford Winston of the Brookings Institution says that the US highway's inefficiencies are worth more than $100 billion. This is a pretty big number, and it's not even comprehensible to most of us. But the point is that the creation of the US highway system changed the country forever in a lot of good ways, but also in a lot of bad ways. These problems continue to affect the country, and a solution must be found if the increasing number of vehicles on the highways are to be traveling quickly and safely. In this speech, I'm going to present some problems I believe there are with the US highway system as it stands, what causes these problems, and a possible solution to those problems. So first, I'm going to be going over what I believe to be two of the biggest problems with the current US highway system. Interestingly, of the efficiencies in Winston's article, car traffic accounts for 45 billion of those costs to our economy. In fact, a study at Texas A&M Transportation Institution says that, quote, the average American commuter wastes 54 extra hours a year in traffic. Now, that time could be spent in work, creating revenue for the workplace, or stimulating the economy. And I know that losing less than an extra hour a day may seem insignificant, but time is money in this world, and, you got to be on top of things to make it. Another big problem with the highway that I see is speeding. A study from the NHTSA, or the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, says that in 2018, 9,300 plus people were killed by speeders. And even though the NHTSA says that this is a 6% drop from the year before, 2017, the problem still undoubtedly exists. So not only is speeding dangerous and against the law, it's a source of many traffic delays. So now that I presented these problems as the main focus for the speech, I want to reveal what I believe to be the root of the problems, the causes. Traffic will always be a problem. It always has been a problem. Traffic happens because people are in a hurry. They make mistakes, and then they crash. And if they're not doing this, we're always prone to risks on the highway. And these risks create inconsistencies, whether it be making people slow down or making people change lanes, whatever it might be. The reality is that everybody on the road is only thinking about themselves. And we all want to stay safe, but at the same time, go as fast as possible from point A to point B, even if that means you are speeding. Speeding happens because people get in a hurry. They think that they're going to be late. And they know they probably could speed and not get pulled over by a police officer, but the reality is that this should be the least of their problems. The risks associated with driving fast, speeding, and risky driving in general are of much higher significance. The impulse to drive is driven by the simple feeling of being rebellious. You are told not to speed, so you must know what happens when you do speed. This is a simple psychological attribute of humans, and it's key to understanding the root of this problem. So now that you're aware of the causes of the two problems I listed, I want to tell you about my solution. And for this, I turn to the famous Autobahn highway in Germany. An article by Aaron Brown of Business Insider gives us an insight to all the ways that the Autobahn is superior to the US highway system. First of all, speed limits on the Autobahn are much less limited than speed limits in the United States. There are sections where there is no speed limit, but those sections are very limited. And also, there is a posted minimum speed of 37 miles an hour on the Autobahn. Comparatively, there is the lowest speed limit on the Autobahn is 68 miles an hour. That is very fast compared to the majority of US highways and interstates. A second great attribute of the Autobahn is its drivers. Drivers in Germany have a harder time getting a license, which means they have to go through more education and more processes to get their license, which produces better drivers overall that are more prone to follow the law and, laws like fast traffic to the left, passing on the left, stuff like that. Now, this obedience with the law doesn't come without enforcement. There are police on the Autobahn, but they have a much less significant presence than that of enforcement in the United States. And this helps because that means that there's less pressure on drivers to stay within the rules, and it just makes smoother traffic patterns overall. By adhering these ideas and rules of the Autobahn, I believe that we can change the U.S. highway system for good. And we can see significant change over the course of a couple of years. So in review, I presented to you 2 problems I believe there are with the current U.S. highway system, the causes to these problems, and what I believe could be the answer to those problems, the solution, if you will. I'm aware that these topics are much deeper than what can be discussed in a 7-minute speech, and I know that implementing them would cause quite a stir, but, I think that they're worth thinking about, and they should be considered when you're thinking about fixing these problems. So, I hope the next time that you're stuck in traffic behind some slowpoke in the fast lane, you think about the Autobahn and how it can change American life for the better. Thank you.